This is a 70's D-18 that has had all the modifications into it except for the scalloping of the braces, the X braces. I'm going to A-B it with another 70's D-18 that has had everything done to it, including the scalloping. And what we're trying to decide is whether or not we want to scallop this guitar. They've got slightly different strings on them. This one's got mediums. The other guitar has got a medium light gauge as a Lecture HD. So you got some differences in strings. You have a few differences in the pins. Some small things, but none of those are going to affect what we're really listening for, and that is the bass response and the percussion on the two guitars. That's the main difference that you're going to hear in the scalloping. So I want to get that clear before we start comparing these. What we're really listening to is, do I like this sound or do I like that sound? And if you like this one, then I can push this one closer to it, So don't get hung up on strings and pins right now. Those flavor the actual tone, but they don't change vanilla into chocolate. You see, it's just, it's not quite that strong of a deal. So let's play this guitar and play the other guitar and compare them. And instead of doing just a straight comparison like I normally do, I'm going to point out some differences. Okay? So let's play this one a little bit. there's the two guitars. This one's scalloped, but it's only lightly scalloped. You know, it's not a heavy pre-war type scallop. It's just enough to kind of loosen the bass up a little bit on it. The differences I hear, you see what you hear. This one's warmer. It's warmer, a little bit fuller. The chords sound richer, a little fuller. But it hasn't lost any of the D-18. It hasn't lost the 70's D-18 punch any. But the non-scalloped one has got, it sounds a lot, reminds me so much of the 60's D-18 that I had. Very clear, punchy, mid-range. It still has a little bit of the nasal tone to it. It's not such a bad deal on that guitar because, you know, I did go from the big rosewood bridge plate to the maple bridge plate, and that cleaned the tone up quite a bit. So, you know, I got a little bit more bass on this. I got a little bit more percussion on the scalloped guitar. But, man, I'm not sure I would want to scallop the natural top. It's got such a nice, clear, punchy tone to it now. And it's got just a touch of nasal to the bass, but it's not bad. It's not objectionable. I don't like nasally guitars, but that one, it sounds good. This one sounds good too. I don't really have again, you know, I don't really try to make the guitar fit me. I like the guitar to sound good, and then I listen to the guitar and say, man, this guitar is really good at this. And I adapt my playing to that guitar so to bring out the strengths of it. So I can definitely have these two guitars, the natural and the sunburst one. To me, they would have different roles. And if I was in an ensemble where the mandolin player had a really bright mandolin, or there's a banjo player, I might go for this guitar for the slightly richer, deeper tones. You know, there's nothing wrong with having two guitars with slightly different voices. You're going to adapt yourself and say, man, this one's really good at this. That's what I'm going to, you know, emphasize. Either of these guitars, though, could do anything. So let's play like a cross-picking section and see that. Man, this one sounds good, though. Very pleasant. I would definitely pick this one for more of a solo sort of thing, where I wanted a little bit fatter, richer sound. I'd probably take that natural top for an ensemble. That thing would cut like a knife because of that tight focus sound. You know, the bigger sound you get, the less focused it is, and the less it owns those frequencies. And so in an ensemble, a tighter, focused, punchy sound is going to cut. A bigger, warmer sound is going to lay down a foundation, but it's not going to cut as much. So to me, this one's more of a solo guitar, a small ensemble, and just a broader palette sound. But I like them both. This one's still got plenty of punch. I mean, I commented on that, you know. And they both have terrific necks. Gosh, I couldn't pick between the necks. It's interesting that I went and worked on the fingerboard on both of them right in this area. Made sure they were 16-inch radius, because now, to me, when I'm playing them, it feels like I want it to feel. A little bit flatter. Okay, so let's play something like this. I gotta get warmed up on that cross-picking thing. Right away, you see, I hear that nasally punchy tone in these two strings. By the way, you can hear, at least I can hear, that this one doesn't blend quite as well. But it's punchy. Yeah, it's just a punchy sound. So anyway, I'm going to let the owner decide. You listen to these, you decide if you want this guitar to be a little bit more like the Sunburst or if you like it like it is. And it's going to mature over the next several months. The only caution I have on scalloping it is that I can see the top getting a little bit of a belly to it. So I know that this is a little bit of a softer top and the braces are a little bit soft on this guitar. So I want to be real cautious on the scalloping. It's not going to get much scalloping if it gets any. And that's why it sounds good now, is because it's got a pretty responsive top as it is. But you make the decision, see what you think. Let's play a couple more things back and forth and point it out. But I really hear it on that D and the A. You can really hear the difference on that little phrase when I emphasize it. Hey, that's loud. That gives us quite a bit to work with. So take a listen to those two guitars, see what you think. I'm going to scallop this one. I'm going to scallop the natural, or you want to leave it?